Hey there! Welcome to the grammar and vocabulary lesson for the conversation Mysterious Sightings. Just relax, listen to the simple explanations, and don't worry about the grammar. Listen to this lesson as many times as you need to. Take your time and really master it. Let's get started. I began our conversation with, "Well, hey, Alec, how's it going?" Well and hey are just being used to get someone's attention or begin conversations. Also, how's it going is a typical casual greeting. We use hello when we meet someone for the first time. How's it going is used for people we know well. The it in how's it going can refer to the person or their life in general. Then Alec replied with, "Pretty good. How about yourself?" Pretty good is a casual response to a casual greeting. It means okay. How about yourself is a casual way of asking how someone is. Bout is just a shortened, casual way of saying about. Then I said, "I'm doing all right. I wanted to tell you today about a really interesting article I was reading online about another Bigfoot sighting." I'm doing all right means I'm okay. Also, is just an English filler word with no meaning, used when we are thinking or don't know what to say. English conversations are filled with filler words like this. Additionally, I wanted to tell you is a great phrase we use when we want to begin telling a story or an idea. Bigfoot is a large, hairy, ape-like creature, much bigger than a man, which may live in North America, and a sighting happens when something is seen. A UFO sighting means a UFO was seen. Then Alex said, "Another Bigfoot sighting?" And I said, "Yeah, Bigfoot, the Yeti or the abominable snowman." Yeah is a casual way of saying yes, and is short for you know. Also, Yeti is the name for the Bigfoot-like creature in the Himalayan mountains, and abominable snowman is another name for the Yeti. Abominable means unpleasant, hated, or detestable. And Alex said, "Well, Bigfoot comes from America, and the Yeti and the abominable snowman come from the Himalayas." Understanding, I said, "Oh, really? Okay, so..." "Oh, really" is a great way of asking for confirmation in a conversation and showing that you're listening and interested. Then Alec went on to say, "They're different creatures." Creature is any living thing and can be used to describe any kind of animal. And I said, "Ah, has many uses depending on your intonation." "Ah, I forgot my keys." "Ah, I understand what you mean." "Ah, this bath feels great." Then Alex said, "Mythological creatures," or mythological means something coming from a myth. A myth is a story that may have come from true or fictional events. A unicorn is a mythical creature. And I said, "Sure, sure." And Alec replied, "Maybe real." Then I said, "Maybe real." Well, again, so this guy thinks he saw one near a Burger King around. Guy is a casual word for man. It can also be used to refer to a group of men and women. By the way, Burger King is a famous fast food hamburger restaurant. Then Alex said, "My goodness, carry on please." My goodness is a way of saying wow. We use this when we're excited or surprised. Also, carry on means to continue. Please carry on can also be used. Then I went on to say, "Well, all right, so, all right, I know, but I like the..." And Alex said, "This is very interesting." And I continued with, when you think about seeing a mythical creature, you don't think about Burger King." And Alec agreed, saying, "No, you certainly don't." Then I went on to say, "You think about the woods somewhere. It's kind of foggy, and it's an interesting scene, like something you see in the movies. Anyway, I'm reading this article, and he says he thinks he saw something, and he took out his camera, and of course he took a kind of a fuzzy, blurry picture of some big, kind of thing running away. And like most of the pictures about Bigfoot or any other kind of mythical creature, it was blurry and you couldn't see, really, what the picture was of. There are quite a few points in this section, so let's go back over them. A woods is a thick group of trees that's smaller than a forest. We usually use the word woods and not the singular wood. Woods are usually in colder areas and have different trees than tropical jungles. Kinda is short for kind of and means a little bit. You can use this to describe feelings and weather. I'm kinda tired. It's kinda hot today. Fog is a cloud-like layer that covers the ground. Also, something you see in movies is a great phrase that we use to describe something that looks like it could be from a movie. Notice that we use the movies as an expression and don't say something you see in movies. You can also go to the movies, even when you are only going to see one film at a movie theater. The word anyway is used to help bring people back to the point or original idea of a conversation. Additionally, take out is a phrasal verb we use when removing something. Take out your pencil. Notice how this phrasal verb is different from take out, which we use when we remove food from a restaurant. And finally, both fuzzy and blurry are the opposite of clear and sharp. Then Alex said, "So it seems to me that it's, fake." It seems to me is a great way to express an opinion. Seem means look like or feel like. Also, fake means not real. Then I went on to say, "Well, I guess it could be fake. I mean, obviously, we don't know for sure if there is a real Bigfoot or an abominable snowman or something like that. But the thing I found interesting was that, we still get articles and news reports about Bigfoot being seen. And these aren't even just online articles. You can see this on regular, mainstream TV news, network TV news. They'll sometimes have maybe a story about aliens or something like that. Here's another long section of conversation with some great words and phrases. I guess is another way of expressing your opinion, and I mean is a filler phrase used when we want to say something in a different way. Honey, that dress makes you look kinda big. I mean, you look beautiful. We don't know for sure is another way of saying that we don't know. Also, something like that just means something. To find something interesting means you discovered something that you thought was interesting. Mainstream is common or usual. Mainstream ideas are ones believed by most people. The opposite of this word is fringe. Then Alec went on with, yes, people are really interested in mysterious sightings. For example, I'm very interested in the Loch Ness Monster, Nessie. How about you? Mysterious means unclear or curious, like a mystery, and loch is the Scottish word for lake. The sea monster that may live in the Scottish Loch Ness is called Nessie. And I said, the Loch Ness Monster. I don't really know so much about it. I've been to Scotland, but I'm quite skeptical of, something like the Loch Ness Monster. This thing must be pretty big. This is a giant, some people call him like a dinosaur, or a sea serpent, something like that. Yeah is slang for yes, and I don't really know so much about that is a great phrase we use when we only know a little bit of something. Maybe I have heard about something, but I don't know any details. Skeptical means that you don't believe in something, or you don't easily trust things you don't see with your own eyes. And a sea serpent, or a giant snake-like creature in some body of water, is a mythical animal that fishermen sometimes report seeing. Then Alec continued with, yeah, that's right. And it's been spotted many times. But the photographs are not so, convincing. To spot something means to see it. You usually spot something that is difficult to find, like a person in a crowd. Convince is a verb that means show proof. If you want me to believe in Bigfoot, you'll have to convince me. Convincing is the noun form of this verb. Then I said, kind of like the Burger King Bigfoot, basically. Basically is used when we want to begin explaining something clearly. Then Alex said, oh, certainly. Yeah, well, more convincing than that, I must say. Oh is another filler word and certainly means for sure. And I said, I see. I see is used to mean I understand. Now it's time for a special Do It challenge to help keep you awake and thinking. For these special challenges, you'll have to speak, move, or write something. Get up, wake up, and take the challenge to get fluent faster. Here we go. Below is a list of a few idioms related to magic. Test your knowledge and see how many you understand. The definitions of each idiom can be found at the end of this transcript. Practice your pronunciation and repeat after me. Number 1. Works like magic. Number 2. The magic touch. Number 3. A magical moment. Number 4. A magic wand. Number 5. The magic word. And now, back to our lesson. Alec continued with, yeah, but I think there could be something in it, because have you ever been to Loch Ness? There could be something in it, or to it, means some part of an idea might be believable. Maybe you don't believe in the whole story, but part of it could be true. And I said, no, I've never, like I said, I've never been in, I've been to Scotland, but I've never been to Loch Ness. Like I said means as I told you before. Like I said, Burger King is a hamburger restaurant. And Alec explained, it's huge and it's very, very deep. And I said, so there could be, and Alec continued with, and it's very isolated. Isolated means remote, far away, or difficult to get to. Then I said, there could be something living in it. Another cool thing besides mysterious creatures is also mysterious places. Excited, Alex said, yes. And I went on to say, so things like the pyramids or the Bermuda Triangle or crop circles even. The Bermuda Triangle is an area in the Atlantic Ocean where many ships and planes disappear. And crop circles are found in fields of plants like corn and wheat. Some people believe that crop circles are created by aliens. And Alex said, yeah, crop circles are very interesting. They just appear, out of nowhere, seemingly sort of overnight. When something comes from out of nowhere, it comes as a surprise and from an unknown origin. Things that come out of nowhere usually arrive very quickly. Then I said, yeah, I've heard lots of stories about crop circles, and I can see how some people would be able to make those, but some of them seem almost too intricate to be made by people. Intricate means having very complex or detailed design. And then Alec explained, well, actually, most of them are too intricate. And I said, oh, really? And Alex said, yes, they're extraordinarily refined images, geometrical images. Refined means high class, high quality, precise, and or exact. And geometrical objects are patterns and basic shapes like squares and circles. Then I said, I must confess, I don't know much about crop circles, but have you ever been to an actual crop circle? Here, I must confess, is a way of admitting that you don't know something. To confess is to reveal or tell a truth. Also, actual means real. And Alec admitted, I've never been to one, no, but I've seen many, many images. There are a lot of images all over the internet, actually. Then I said, sure, sure. Have you ever been to any mysterious places or lived in any mysterious places? And Alec replied, well, I lived in a very mysterious place called Glastonbury in England. Curious, I asked, oh, really? And Alec said, yeah, and it had a kind of hill, like a really symmetrical hill. And on the top of that hill, well, we're talking about now, of course, and on the top of the hill there's a tor, a single kind of church tower. Symmetry means having the same things in the same places on both sides of a balance point or line. And a tor is a high or jagged and rocky hill. This is a British word that most Americans don't know. Then I said, mm-hmm, mm-hmm is more filler used to show understanding or that you are listening. Then Alex said, and this is a very famous and Glastonbury attracts a lot of people that are into New Age ideas and meditation. New Age is a collection of many different ideas. Meditation, spiritual understanding, and healing are just a few aspects of New Age philosophies. Also, if you listened carefully, you'll have heard that Alec made the contraction thater. This isn't a correct contraction, but we use it regularly in conversations. Remember to stop worrying about being perfect. And I said, mm-hmm. And Alec went on to explain, and when I first went up to the top of the tor and went into this tower, trying to understand a word I'd never heard before, I asked, a toll? And Alec explained, yeah, it's called a tor or a tower. Then I asked, how do you spell that? And Alec spelled T-O-R. And I said, T-O-R, huh. Then Alec continued with, so the first time I went in, it was dirty and it smelled, and I didn't like it at all. So I went down the hill with a bad idea about it. But all the time I lived there, I went there many times. And I said, mm-hmm. And Alex said, and every time I went there, it got more and more magical. And I asked, in what way? In what way is a great way of asking how something is or works. Then Alec explained, well, it had an amazing presence. A presence is a feeling. A person or a place can have a presence. And I said, Then Alec explained that it had an amazing energy. And I find that with a lot of Glastonbury, there are a lot of winding roads. Winding means curving back and forth. And I said, mm-hmm. And Alex said, and I used to go for many walks, and the energy was lovely, you know. And I asked, oh, really? And Alec explained that it was beautiful energy. Yeah, it was a nice season anyway, summer, so the sun was shining through the leaves. And I said, well, it sounds like a really cool place to live. Sounds like is used to describe something you are hearing, or when we want to compare something. Looks like, tastes like, feels like, and smells like use the same idea. And Alex said, yes. Then I said, well, there do seem to be a lot of amazing creatures and places to visit, and hopefully in our lifetime we'll be sure to get out and see for ourselves what's really happening. In our lifetime means before we die. And Alex said, yeah, definitely. Yes, I'd like to go to Egypt, next. I've never been to Egypt. How about you? And I said, no, I've never been to Egypt, but I think that would be really cool. I'd love to see the pyramids. That's it for this month's vocabulary and grammar review lesson for the conversation Mysterious Sightings. Listen to this lesson many times to understand all of the words, phrases, and grammar. Go back and read along with the transcript to make sure everything is clear. To get fluent faster, practice using the filler words, vocabulary words, phrases, and grammar in your conversations. Have an excellent day, and we'll see you next time. This Master English Conversation lesson has been copyrighted by EnglishAnyone.com. To learn more, please visit www.EnglishAnyone.com.